Now we'll discuss about this computer organization. So I welcome you all for this lecture, and this is the first topic of computer organization. So it is like you have some basic requisite of for this. If you have proper basic concept about digital electronics or digital logic design, that is a requirement of this computer organization. So already we have separate lectures are available. You can go through that. Okay. And side by side here also I'll try to explain what are we relevant to our topic. So like, subscribe to increase our community, and this information should reach to the maximum people. So as per some particular syllabus, here we have discussion about, this is the first chapter, that is digital computer and basic computer organization. So inside this, first we are going to see here what is digital computer. So digital name itself is what? Digital. So it's going to have information. So that is going to be operated with the help of, generally we'll talk about digital means we talk about the binary numbers, that is the one and zeros. So the basic components here, sometimes people will have some confusion about what is organization, design, architecture. So that also we are going to discuss later. So here, first we are going to see what are the basic components of the digital computer here. So that digital computer consists of, basically we have three components in general if you try to call. So here we have, first one is the memory. Then we have another thing, memory again, we have discussion earlier about memory in the digital logic design. So in that, different types of the memory is there. So here first we are going to discuss about RAM. RAM is the random access memory. So these things can be accessed randomly. So some information which system is going to seek, so that is can be accessed randomly. So that's why it is called as the random access memory, and it has two different types, static and dynamic RAM. So main part of this digital computer, so first is the CPU, that is the central processing unit. And central processing unit is connected with the processor. Okay, so first thing you can say about this central processing units and this processor, both are, that is, we can consider together. And second is the memory. And third one we can consider input and output devices. So this is three basic fundamental blocks of this digital computer in modern days. So here that we have multiple input devices, like you have keyboard, mouse, and output devices like we have printer and some display devices. So that we'll see again here. So when we'll talk about the computer, so it consists of hardware and software. So that hardware we are going to use as per our requirements. So that number of the hardware components again depends system to system. Sometimes, but some basic hardware is the common to all. And that configuration of that hardware is going to change as per our requirement. Like someone having high capacity of storage requirement, somebody required high capacity of the RAM, so that, so system, if system is fast, that depends upon the RAM. If you have high capacity RAM we are going to use, then system will be fast. Like in case of, suppose we have 8 GB and someone having 16 GB RAM. So that 16 GB RAM device will be faster in compared to 8 GB RAM. And the size of the RAM will be always to the power. Okay. So like we have 64 and so on. So this hardware is the again requirement as per your needs, but some basic components are common to all. Like we have motherboard, SMPS, switch mode power supply. Again, some hardwares depends upon the are you going to use desktop, laptop, pen tab. So on this basis, different types of the hardware is there. But only hardware is not sufficient if you are not going to have software. So generally, if any system we are going to use, so it must have OS. OS is called as the operating software. So like somebody is going to use the Windows, somebody is going to use Linux. These are the different operating software. Okay. Apart from this, we have various application software. Like suppose, for example, if you have human bodies without life, that is the hardware. When life is given, that is your software. So like functioning of the hardware is being controlled with the help of software. And how this software is going to work, so it has multiple program. So what is the program? Program is the sequence of instruction. Okay, when we are going to write the instruction in particular sequence for the particular purpose, that is called as the program. Okay, so here we have application program also. First one is the operating system, that is compulsory for any systems. So that is going to coordinate between different hardwares inside the computers. So next is the application program. So application programs, these are the high level language are being used, and those high level language are being converted into machine language by the help of compiler. So here basic important is maybe sometimes one marks question about program. So program is the sequence of instruction. Suppose for example you are going to write the program in the C language, you are going to declare two integers, okay, a and b, and then you are going to add this integer, so c is equal to a plus b. So this is the application specific. We want to perform arithmetic addition, so we are writing the program in this way. And addition a plus b, that sum is being stored here in the c. So but OS is compulsory to run the hardware. So next we are going to see again more detail about various peripheral devices here. So basic block diagram of the computers, little bit in elaborate. So the CPU part having what are things? Memory unit, control unit. This is the ALU, arithmetic logic units. Okay. And again here we have input devices like we have keyboard, card reader, machines, reader, like we have RFID card reader, MICR, OCR, mouse. These are the like voice inputs we are giving with the help of microphone. So these are the input devices. And right side we have output devices like we have printer, plotters, CD-ROM, synthesizer, voice synthesizer. These are the output devices. So whenever they will ask you question about explain, discuss about the block diagram of the computer, so you have to draw this computer along with peripheral, we can explain. And right side you are seeing the processor. So this processor is going to decide the speed of operation. Okay, it's going to take the help of RAM and other inputs, like we have later discussion about cache memory, virtual memory, all that discussion will come. So this processor depends again. So that means processor is going to decide how fast operation is going to be computed inside the system. Like if you're going to give the commands, how much milliseconds, nanoseconds it is going to take to perform the operation. So that is also you can call in terms of latency when you're trying to access some information, how fast it is going to give us the information. So later we'll see that we have two different read and write operation that used to perform here. Okay. So here again, in this portion, you see that we have this similar peripheral in the modern days. We are using the joysticks, and you have handheld scanners that you are going to see in shopping mall anywhere you are going. Again, we have mouse. This is the mic. Then we have keyboard, and this is the touch tablets or some writing pads. Then we have another scanners if you want to scan some documents. So these are the informations. Whatever inputs we are giving, it is being encoded. Okay. So that again, for that we have analog to digital encoder. All these things are available. And here, in case of CPU, arithmetic logic units, central units, and here cache memory, all these things we'll discuss. Okay. And primary memory, that is the main memory. So generally, when they have required, if power is on, so that time RAM memory will work. Okay. So this is the RAM memory is also called as the volatile memory. And nowadays, we have another concept where RAM also can be utilized as the non-volatile memory. And here we have decoder sections. So decoder means here information is being converted into digital to analog. So for that, digital to analog converters, and input side we have analog to digital converter. Since human beings much familiar how to give the inputs in the analog way. Okay, so that's why here encoder is there, that is analog to digital encoder. And finally, when we have to get the output, so it is the system functioning that is going to give us digital to analog converter. So here we have plotters, speaker, printers, monitors, and different types of the monitors. Okay, and transfer of information takes place between the CPU and the cache. Again, we have another block transfers. This all we'll see little bit more detail later when we talk more about the memory. Again, here you have input, processor, storage is what memory, and here output parts. So this is the just for the practical examples. So basic functional units here in the digital computers, we have input devices. So here you have to give example, output devices, memory units, and arithmetic and logic units, whatever various. Later we'll talk about micro operation. So how those micro operation related to arithmetic and logic micro operation is being performed with the help of ALU, and how we can control the entire operation. For that, control unit is also there. So those were the basic computer block diagram. Now sometimes we have confusion what is computer organization, design, architectures. So here it is written, okay, in general, what is the purpose of computer organization, design, and architectures? Okay, so these things here, what you are seeing that the main purpose of the computer organization is about hardware components operation, how they are connected together inside the system to perform the particular operation. So that is the computer organization. So that is the internal parts, how these computer parts are being connected together to perform the particular operation. Whereas in case of computer design, so it is mainly concerned about hardware design. Suppose as per the our requirements, which type of the hardware is required, how much space is there to fit that hardware components, how will be the behavior of that. So mainly it is concerned about this, completely about the hardware design. So that is here computer design. Next we have computer architecture. So it is concerned with the structure and behavior of the computers, how it is being seen by the users. So it has different information formats, instruction sets, addressing memory. So all these things are included inside the computer architectures. So here overall, if you see that We have summarized here that we have computer organization, then you have architectures, and the system program and application program, how both are having understanding. So system program is used to run the hardware. And with the help of system program and this hardware, we were going to use the application program for the specific purpose. So it is summarized here. Finally, computer organization, the way hardware components operate and connected to form the computer system. And we'll talk about the interconnection of the processor, memory, and peripheral devices. So that is the computer organization. Whereas in case of computer design, so all having very, very thin line difference, okay? So it is concerned with hardware design. Computer organization, how we are going to we are going to how we are going to organize the things in our home in appropriate place as per requirements, how we can perform the specific task. That is the computer organization. Where computer design, it is related with hardware design. Now, which type of the, suppose for example, some people having nowadays interior design. So how will be looking will be there, how should be the drawing room, all this is the design, okay, and selection of the hardware and implementation, that is coming under the computer design. Whereas we'll talk about the computer architectures, so it is basically about the instruction set and a structured behavior of the computers, how users are going to interact, and it is the external views, and it has instruction sets. So these are things are in here in the basics of the computer and computer organization, design, and architectures. So with the help of this, you'll be able to differentiate what is the computer organization. Somewhere in curriculum subject is the computer architectures, somewhere in the computer organization. So I hope you'll have some basic concept now about this. Okay. So next we are going to see about this how transfer will takes place. Okay, that will continue in the next lectures. Okay. So you have any doubt, you can write in the comments. I'll answer those questions. Okay. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thank you. Thank you very much.